I flip on the poker face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see.
Hit it, Karis.
Hometown Radio
Show.
For the music that comforts my soul. It's the all around town.
Were you doing an extreme close-up and I missed it? Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Yes. Let everybody zoom in on that. Here comes my hostess with the mostest.
Hello.
Now I can't get you off big screen.
Get me
Uh-oh.
off.
We're stuck. I'm literally meaning it. We are stuck. There we go. Okay.
Everybody's going to get real sick of this face.
Not at all. Not at all. Hey, you ready?
I'm
Read that, will
ready.
you?
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities they represent.
Thank you. Thank you, sweet sister Mercy.
Oh, thanks, sweetie.
We got people rolling in already, and I missed half of them. Look at this by screwing around with all the board. Rob Paisley, hey. John Hay, hey. Hey, John Hay.
Hey,
Hello
hey,
there.
hey, John Hay.
John Hay. Formerly of the Hay Kids, they were a household name back in the day. The Hays, they were.
Hi, Evelyn.
Look at that. There's Kareem, Jamie in the house.
Jamie, my love, Casey, Kara,
Just keep going, and I'll keep flipping them up on the screen.
Alex
There you go.
Hall. I saw Alex Hall when we went to go see Gina and Johnny Band the other
Did
day.
you? I heard you took a
Bob
little trip to do that.
Huh?
I heard you took a little trip to do that.
I
Speaking
did.
of Gina and Johnny, they'll be on the show tomorrow at noon. We're going to
I
have
saw
them
that.
Wednesday with the band. That's going to be fun. We're now
saw
CNR.
that. We were just talking about you, Gina.
Did you see Bob Weber? We're now just CNR. That's like CCR, but not as good. Okay.
Who's R?
Hi, Kara.
Hi, Heidi.
Look at all these people, man. Are you yawning? Would you stop yawning? It's
Guys,
already
I'm not
gloomy
gonna lie.
enough.
If I take a nap during the show, it's nothing personal.
It's gloomy enough. Okay. Now it's CNS. Beauty. Aren't you a beauty? You're a beauty. Howdy, Evelyn. Thank you for being here. Look at all these people. I'm missing half of them, but I've got to get going here.
Already tell them, Bill, Bob,
Jim
McCarthy,
George Orr from
George Uller, Chris Lee,
George Orr from Rockstar. I almost said the wrong band.
Erica, TJ, Colleen,
You just keep going, and I'll just keep popping.
Mario Pastora. He does my t-shirts and everything.
Mario.
Mario.
He's Super Mario.
He's
Yes.
Super Mario.
He is. He did a great job with
Mario,
those
now that I
women.
have you here, I need some more food truck t-shirts. Just so I don't forget.
Listen to you ordering while we're live.
No, it's because I was
That's
going
the
to
way.
forget, so I figured I might as well just say it out loud and maybe he'll remember to remind me.
Hey, speaking of orders of shirts, did you see by any chance that our shirts are back online for 14 days? If you want to get any of our hoodies,
I
shirts,
do.
and we have a new item for winter. We have a crew neck sweatshirt, no hood, no nothing, just a sweatshirt. If you want a sweatshirt, those items are there. Hats, beanies, you name it. It's available. It's on our page. You can follow the link to 937 Inc., who does our merch. So thank you, or apparel, as I like to call it. It's not merch because we're not making money off of it, but we're having fun with it. Yes, and so many
Jamie
people
likes
wear them.
The crew neck. Jamie likes those crew necks. She asked me about that for the Bell and the Bear. She could probably get on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
there,
people that have
said
reached out about that. Yeah, lots of people have reached out about that, and And Ray still wants a tank top. Well, Ray, get one. It's online now. It is. So there's where we're at. Look at all these people rolling in. It is Audience Day.
Oh, also, I still have some t-shirts left over from the event that I'm just going to sell for like $20 if anybody wants, and the money will go to the charity. But I know there's some lady that ordered one that I got to give to you the next time you're there, Mr. Scott. But yeah, we got some t-shirts still available.
You didn't get any in, oh my God, it's headed right forest size like I like to wear. So thanks.
I thought I did.
You
Mario,
didn't.
I did.
Well, if you did, they weren't there the day of the event, my dear.
Well, they are there.
I had Erica digging. There were people digging. But it's okay, because, you always leave me out. It's all right. I know how I'm loved.
Stop being wah about yourself.
How's that go?
Today.
Wah. Oh, it's
why don't you call 1-800 wah extension boo hoo?
Wow. Aren't we being sweet today? My sweet friend with a halo over her head. Yeah. All right. Hi, Jennifer Cuesta. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Jen Cuesta.
Jim Kilroy hates hoodies, but he's got one. But he's going to get a sweatshirt. He is. I know he will. Thank you, Jim Kilroy. Hey, let's get started today, Karis. You ready? It's time.
Okay. I mean, I think it's up to the audience to get us started because they're going to ask us the questions and stuff.
I always love those pauses, those awkward pauses you do. Yes.
Okay.
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 Asshole. Okay.
Sure. Now.
Yes. All right. Let's get started. I'm waiting. Anybody out there?
Oh,
is there anybody out there?
It's audience participation day today.
Audience participation day. We decided to pass joy and judgment on whatever you throw at us today. Would you rather
one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized? First of all, I'm not going to fight. Well,
you might fight.
I would rather fight
one
horse-sized duck. One horse-sized duck. I don't know.
Thank you. Rick wants to know if we had a good day today. Hell no, we didn't, Rick. That's why we're here, to spread joy and judgment.
I had a good day. I'm just tired.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I always have a good day. A bad day would be if I died. That's a bad day.
You came on early today too. You were 2 minutes early. That's rare for you. I appreciate that. It was fun to talk to you for a minute. But Glenn, what's he saying? YouTube must not be working today.
Jen Cuesta.
I missed Jen's. Where's Jen's?
She said I didn't read fight. I read.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yes, we're not going to do that anymore, Jennifer Cuesta. No, that gets me put in prison. It does. Karis goes about her business, but I have to fight the Book of Face to stay out of prison. Let's see what else we got here. Gina McCann is laughing, of course. Hi, Gina. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow at noon.
Looking to see you live tomorrow night. I'm working the food truck. I'm working the food truck tomorrow night.
Jim McCarthy had his fireplace on today. Thank you, Jim, for making winter early. Yes. So,
and a ban cancellation for getting higher payout from another venue. Ooh.
Oh.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Want to know my take on it? That sucks. If a band is booked somewhere, you don't jump ship unless, I would have to say, unless you call the venue and you say, look, we just got asked to open for REO Speedwagon or something, and it's a big deal for us. We're going to be in front of 10,000 people or something like that. Then the venue can decide that. But no, not another venue who just ups your. That's like,
yeah. I've had a couple of bands reach out to me and be like, Karis, I hate to do this, but we got a really good opportunity, and I wanted to know, and I really want to take it. That's something fun. I don't have a problem with that, as long as I can find somebody to cover, obviously, but if it's for a higher pay, no, you can go get effed. Yeah,
that's a one-way ticket to never getting booked again. Right there, especially if you do it last minute.
Yeah.
And let's just put it this way. During the COVID, there were people that said, oh, we have a band member with COVID. We can't play all that. That excuse is over, people. I'm seeing so many people still, and I know you can fight me over it or whatever. Everybody that's getting COVID today has the common cold, and you can see it all over any website or anything. It is not a horrible life and death situation. And just be honest. If you want to cancel, but don't lie about it and say
And
the vid.
Dewey said, what if the band finds a worthy replacement?
That's entirely, I think, up to the venue, don't you? I mean,
that depends if the venue owner thinks it's worthy. Just because you guys think it's worthy doesn't mean
that's what I was going to say. Because I mean, a worthy replacement is somebody who says yes to a band that wants to get out of their gig.
Yeah. What is your take on a bar owner canceling TJ canceling a band 1 hour before they start setting up? What's the reason?
Yeah, I'd like to know the reason behind that. What's
the reason?
And we're taking your questions today, so throw your questions in the comments, guys, and we'll get them on here.
I think when for me, when it comes to live music, your goal is, I always want to see the bands that play like succeed and go as far as they can. So when they get a really good opportunity to open for somebody, I'm going to be as accommodating as I possibly can. If you're going to do it because you agree to a pay and you're going to get paid higher, well, then you better expect me to cancel you because I got a cheaper band. You know what I mean? Like it goes both ways. That's not okay. That's not cool. But what's too cold? Well, yeah, that's weather. That's if you choose to play outside venues, then you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, unless you've got a weather clause in a contract, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature, man. That's just unfortunate.
That's the thing with taking outdoor gigs, unless you have a weather clause. I think it's, a lot of people would say it, as long as you didn't start setting up. I mean, that saves a lot of crap that way, because it's worse when you've already started setting up. But I just don't. That's what you get. You either choose to play indoor or outdoor gigs, and if you do, then you either have a clause or you don't do it. But you're just going to get that.
I agree with you 100% on that one. And Kareem, that's a great question. It's the industry standard in Nashville.
No.
But not locally. I don't think so. I mean, it is on down there on Broadway in Nashville. Everybody runs around. They have people that are professional tip bucket runners in those places that take a cut.
Tip bucket up there, make it as bright and shiny as you want. But no, don't go walking around. That's just not my.
Absolutely detest that when somebody shoves a tip bucket under my nose at my table and puts you on the spot like that.
Yeah, and I don't like that. That's
maybe I wasn't going to tip the band.
10:30. That's right, Gina. 7:30 to 10:30. Johnny tried to do 7 to 10. It's 7:30 to 10:30. Gina is correct.
Well, it's Johnny. We love Johnny. But yeah, let's talk more about this tip bucket thing. I want to get into that because that's interesting. There are some, and you know what it always seems to be, and I'm gonna piss some people off. I always do, but it's always the pushy girlfriend or wife that's running around with a tip bucket. And
don't get me started.
No,
yeah,
hell no. If I want to give a tip, I'll walk up to the stage, I'll drop it in, and I'll do that. But don't pressure me with it under my nose and then looking around at everybody around me like, is he going to throw money in there? Because I'll probably throw a wadded up napkin in there if you really want to know, because that offends me. It does. And don't be that pushy with, you're getting paid to play. I get it. If you're playing for tips, say that on the microphone. Say, hey, we're playing for tips tonight. Anything you give us goes to us. But, that's, if the bar is so cheap they're making you play for tips, then they shouldn't have music anyway, is my opinion. That's Scott's opinion.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Let me keep rolling. We got so much going on here. Ty Toy Hobbs.
Floyd and the Milkman. Who's Floyd and the Milkman, Jim? Floyd and the Walkman. That's the band.
Yes.
They did have a lot of fans there, correct. It was nice to see.
Was it a good night? It was, yes.
There was a lot of people
Floyd
there.
and the Walkman, though. Yeah, not the Milkman. I understand one of our buddies, Ty Richards from Truck, was down there that night, too, watching. So I'm glad to see some folks from up this way venturing your way. What do we got? Let's see what's Greg Sherwood have to say. Hey, Greg, do I prefer indoor, outdoor venues? I love the outdoor shows in the summertime. They're fun. They're nice. They are a bit dicey when you're trying to promote them or put them on for the people doing that and for the bands because of Mother Nature. This year, we were very fortunate. We didn't have a lot of big rainouts in that, but it can be difficult. And of course, the heat is an element. The ability to play for a long period of time for the bands, and to gather a crowd, depending on what it is. And I can tell you that the vacuum gets sucked out of outdoor events the minute it drops to 60 degrees. You know, when in the spring, if it's 60 degrees, we're all out dancing in the street in shorts. But once you've been out all summer, 60 degrees on an evening seems cold, and that tends to drop people. So I would have to say indoors much more stable for what we do, and putting on events and putting on bands. Indoors a much more stable environment. You have control over it, and I would prefer the indoor versus the outdoor from that aspect. What do you think, Harris? You were in an indoor event, so.
I have an indoor venue. I obviously like indoor venues. I love the outdoors, but I like to sit, or just, I don't know. I like to just, there's a lot of, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to be outside. I just want to be inside. I like the option. I think that's great.
Yeah. And I will say,
someone passing around the offering plate. I like the option. Absolutely. But I no.
And can I just say this? I don't think even municipalities today, and I get so irritated locally here where I live in Springboro sometimes, and they mean well, but there's all these outdoor events that go on in the summer, which directly impact their indoor venues. And I consider Heather's as kind of a combo venue because she has tents and all those things. But when you have a big free concert in the park that the city puts on, and they can go out and grab a local hospital to pay the bill for the band and all that stuff for advertising dollars, it puts the whammy, no offense, Mike Zepp, the whammy on local indoor venues who pay taxes in that community already. Out the yin yang, they pay taxes. So that's something to think about. And this year, it seemed like everywhere you turn, somebody had outdoor live music, and it was free. You know, free in the park, free here, free there, free that. It's great for the consumer, I guess. Not so great for those who are in the business. And it's panhandling, Steve said. Yes, it is. What do we got here? You see anything else?
The break, Kareem, when the band takes a break, how long is too long? Personally, I think it really depends on the night, but I understand why there's a 30-minute break. I get it, but man, that could really destroy. I mean, people leave. That is a long time, and a lot of people leave during that time.
And
I can't wait either, Jamie. It's going to be amazing.
Band breaks are a problem in a lot of places. Are a
huge problem. I'm running into that a lot.
And you know what really happens is I don't think the band intentionally takes a long break. I think they get out and get sucked into the audience and people talking, and it goes on, and they don't know how to get away from those people.
I love a show without a break. Kevin McCoy usually does a show without a break. And if he does take a break, it's usually maybe 15 or 20 minutes. But these 30-minute breaks, they are just, the guests leave. Tina's right. Like, people leave.
Karis, I was at a show not too long ago. The guy's known as the Piano Man, Scott Morlock, and he played 4 hours straight with no break, never left the stage. He probably had to pee like you wouldn't believe after the show.
That's what Kevin does. Kevin McCoy does. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was insane that people were engaged the entire time. You know, it was cool. Let's see what else we got here.
Melody. You can write that. And that's the thing. I've had that conversation too, and it's like Kevin McCoy goes up there and he puts on a show. He doesn't just stand there and do nothing. And then I get a lot of bands that complain. They're like, it's just I got to take 2 30-minute breaks, and I can only play for this long. And I'm like, we are only playing for 3 hours, and I got to take 2 30. So really, you're only playing for 2 hours. Like, sound and lighting are much bigger challenge. You want to talk about sound there, Mr. Johnny Fink?
Sound and lighting. We had a big battle battle going on the page today about lighting, and Bill always writes in about the lighting in his eyes. It bothers him. And I think it's also from a video standpoint, he likes to video and those kind of things, and it affects that. But lighting is not always the problem of the band. If it's a big show, there is a light technician who's hired, there's production people. It's not always the band's fault. So don't always blame it on the band.
No, lighting is not the band's fault, but it can be awful.
Yeah, that's fun, Jamie. I'm trying to get through some of these. Do you see any comments that we need to pop up there? But yeah, lighting is a big issue. It could be a whole show in itself. And there's a reason that they use what's called the crowd blinders. They do that for effect. They do that to light up the audience so the performers can see the audience at big arenas and venues. And it's part of rock and roll, but you don't have to like it. It's just part of rock and roll sometimes. And, you know, Jamie Combs posted a video. I forget who he was seeing the other night in the light show. Fish, that's who it was. And it was phenomenal. I mean, the light show was good. Better than the band, honestly. I mean, it was insane. And I love that.
Dave Wade, I agree. 15 to 20 minutes is ideal. I think that's fine, whether people need it or not. I think that's fine. I'm not saying I don't think that nobody should take a break. That's ridiculous. I'm just saying there's a couple of bands that don't take breaks, but it's the 30-minute breaks that just kill it.
They do. They just suck the life out of the room.
And then if you say, okay, can you take shorter breaks, or say, okay, but we're going to just, then we can only play to this time. I'm just like, I don't know. It seems like, and I'm just going to say it, for a lot of bands, not for a lot, I'll say for a handful of bands, it seems like the cost is going up, but their playing time is going down.
Marianne says, when you take a second break, I'm out
I don't
of
blame
there.
you.
Yeah. And especially if the first one was 30 minutes and it's going to be another 30 minutes before they get back on the stage and it's later in the evening. The days of playing till 2 a.m. are pretty much over with, at least for now. And so people want to get in, see the band, and they want to get home at a fairly decent hour now. And the bars don't have that 7-8 hour big push anymore. They have a few hours to get it in, and you got to entertain them when you're playing. You got to keep people rocking in the place and keep them in there. And Steve said he'd rather not take breaks. And and there's Dave Wade's comment. I'm getting to it. I agree, Dave. 15 to 20 minutes max on that. Otherwise, it's not a break. It's an intermission. It is. Yeah. It's it's way too long. And I like a band that can play for, when you book them and you say, do you have, can you play 4 hours? Well, we don't have that much material. Well, then learn that much material, because if you can't play 4 hours worth of material, you probably need to go back to the basement and start practicing some songs and putting it together, because a lot of places need you there that long. Karis, what time do your shows start? 8:30 normally?
8:30-ish. Between 8:30 and 9. I don't like bands starting like to an empty room, and sometimes it takes 15 minutes for it to fill up a little bit.
Gotcha. And you go till midnight?
Well, it depends on the band. It depends on the band. There's some bands that only play for 3 hours but take 2 half-hour breaks. And there's some bands that, play 4 hours. So if they are only 3 hours, then they do 9 to midnight.
Yeah, Corona, thank you for that. I agree. Breaks can kill the vibe. They can. Too long. And Kareem, that's a great question. Kareem's full of questions today, and I love it. Thank you for participating in our show. Does the venue ever have a say in how the band mixes sound for their performance? Well, the venue damn well better.
I mean, if it's too loud, yeah.
I don't know that necessarily they're getting involved in the, I can't hear the kick drum or that kind of thing.
I do that. If I can't hear the vocals or if something's too loud, I'll definitely say this is not balancing right at all.
So how do you handle that?
I go up to them and I say, this is not balancing right at all. If you need to hear this, come on this side of the room and you'll hear this or something. I just tell them.
What if you have a giant egoed sound engineer who looks at you and pretty much says, I'm the sound guy, you're the bar owner, leave me be? What do you do with that?
Then I've seen that happen. Then they never get booked at my venue again.
Fair enough.
And that's happened a couple of times.
52 songs is a bunch of songs, Kevin. That's good. Glad to hear it. What's Bill got to say here? Bill's there. He's talking about the lighting again. Bill has lighting on his mind. He's banned himself from some venues. Never blame it on the band. Go directly to the light people. Yeah, I agree. And you know, you gotta think. Everybody wants to do well. The sound guy wants to do well. The lighting technician wants to do well. So they want to be noticed, and they're going to put on this extravagant light show because most of them want to be noticed. Some of the best production is just where the lights are on timing, and when the song ends, they shut down. They fade to black. They do all those things and do it right. But the extravagant flashing light show is a lot like that video of the drummer that doesn't fit in with the band type thing. You know, when a band is playing a ballad and lights are flashing all over the place in your eyes, it's not real good. So guys, sorry.
Jamie had a question. She likes how Under the Sun brings in an acoustic girl to play when they take. That's good, but who's paying for that? Like, that depends on who's paying for that. You know what I mean?
You know, I knew a band that would have openers, and they'd bring people that didn't necessarily get the chance to get booked, but they thought were good enough to play and open for them like a half hour prior to showtime. It was a really cool opportunity for those people. It was a great chance for them to get up in front of a few people, get some of the butterflies worked out and all that. However, the band started running out of people, and then it was like they were expected to have this opener every time, so they were picking people that were just not good. And then people would walk in, sit down, who were unfamiliar with the good band that was coming up, and say, oh, this music sucks, we're out of here, and leave. You'd see them flock out the door, and that just didn't work either. So you have to be really selective on who you have do that. I think that's Scott's opinion.
Dewey was next. I'd like to know. Oh, well, you're in for a surprise, Dewey.
Oh, more secrets.
Stay tuned for that information.
More secrets.
Dewey. It's coming. Too much talking on stage.
Yay.
Downer. Yeah. And too many long breaks. I'm just going to say it. I have a band that not only just plays 3 hours, they also take 2 30-minute breaks and takes literally probably a minute to 2 in between each song. I love them. I think they're great. But I've never been more irritated by a band.
And you know I was irritating people at Women Who Rock over that same issue. I was like, we've got to not take 5 minutes between songs here.
Well,
and things like that. Even though there's a lot of changeover and there's
that's a good idea. Sorry.
A lot of changeovers and things like that going on. Still, you got to be ready. And I give Kevin Cooper props on that. He told every artist that was there that had to play guitar, there is a tuner in the back. Tune your guitar before you get on stage, which eliminated some of that timing, which was a smart thought on Kevin's part, to do and get people rolling because and Jen Quest, I agree. If you're telling a good story to lead into the song, that's one thing. If you're just talking back and forth or just talking crap on stage, then it's not a good thing. That gets old to people. What else we got? John Dale.
They play for tips, is what Jamie. Oh, she plays for tips. Gotcha. Well, that's nice. Do you think, though, Jamie and Dewey, do you think that goes over as well as it does because it's outdoors and in the summer? Whereas, do you think it would be different at an indoor event in the winter when at night and people are like, it's dark and people are like in the mood to dance because that's what they're doing? Do you think it would go over as well in having a singular acoustic person? Because to me, that seems like a really good idea for perhaps to set for the opener or for for the summertime outdoor venues, but maybe not so much indoors at 11 p.m. at night when they take a break.
I think you're spot on there. I think you're spot on, Karis, with that.
Different.
Outdoors a different animal.
Marianne, where's the bell? We want Dan. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. I brushed it.
Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Jim. It will. All right. What else we got on here? Tim Butterfield, the light guy, is 100% awesome. Thank you for that, Jim, for that shameless plug for Tim. And Dewey says, it works well. Yeah, outdoors, you got a building crowd early. They're there enjoying the outside. They're doing those kind of things, not necessarily great inside. You know, I don't know. It's a mixed bag there. There was something I wanted to hit on that we were talking about, and I can't remember what it was now. Oh, what about let's talk about this for a minute. What about breaks? And should the band be putting music on, or should the venue turn their jukebox back on? That's a good question that comes up a lot.
Yeah, we're not too picky about it. I mean, sometimes it's nice when the band does it only because it avoids some customers playing a super slow song or like a super duper, unfortunately, and this might upset people, but at the Bell, not everybody likes the super heavy metal, and people will leave. I've had people literally leave because of the music in between the break, like a break time. So from what was on the jukebox. So sometimes it avoids that. So that's kind of nice.
Right. And I've said that to several venues that I work in occasionally, that you walk in and the jukebox is jamming this, in, for lack of a better term, gangster rap. And I look around at the people sitting there for happy hour as I'm setting stuff up, and I'm like, they're all my age. Nobody is really into that music. And who played it? And then you find out, as I'm kind of surveying a little bit, it's the bartender.
Let's go in order here. Colleen has a good question right after that one that you just put up. Well, Ray was like, you got to make sure you're reading the crowd, though, Ray. You may think just because one bar likes that kind of music for in between, that doesn't mean that the next bar will like it. But yeah, I mean, as long as you are able to read the room and not your opinion, then that's totally fine. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. A lot of the bands will play what they think is good music and not will keep the dance floor going. So it's a risk either way, but usually it works out well when the band does it.
So read this question.
How did each of you?
And you start.
Well, I used to watch porn a really long time ago, and I thought I want to do that. No, I'm kidding. I got into the business when I was very young. I moved out of my house at a very young age, and I was going to school and pretty much paying for my being my mom's way. So I needed to make some money while still going to school. And so when I was like 15, remember I was raised in Canada, so we could serve earlier and all of that. So I kind of started serving or working as a dishwasher in restaurants. And I worked in every area of like a bar restaurant, from dishwasher to stop boy to bar back to bus boy to like a prep to, and then I got up to bartending. So then I started bartending like when I was like 17, 18, but I had like 2-3 bartending jobs. And then I wanted to go travel. So I packed my bag and I bartended around the world. That's how I traveled, was bartending. And it got to a point where I said, and I was bartending in Toronto, and in Toronto at this time, being a bartender was like this big deal. And you would get paid extra money if you were like a spotlight bartender in like different bars. So I did that for quite a while. Plus I worked the film festival parties, which were huge. Like Toronto has the second biggest film festival parties other than Cannes, France. So that was a huge thing as well. And I always said if I was ever going to, and I was like managing bars and all around, and I always said if I was ever going to be bartending at the age of 40, I wanted to make sure that I was owning the bar. So at 38 is when I purchased my first bar.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
It is. I'm reading all these comments here as they roll in. Alex, yours is big here. Let me put it up on the screen. It'll cover us up for a minute. But little talking about how he plays in their sets and 20-minute breaks and so on. So, and yeah, customers where they're paying for the jukebox, that does get, when you cut it off and they don't get to hear their song, they put money in. They sometimes get a little pissy about it. But they got to know if you're dumping money in it and the band starts at 8:00 and you're putting money in it at 5 minutes late, your song's probably not going to play. I'm just saying that, just saying it. And let me answer Colleen's question real quick. I can do it in the Reader's Digest version, but I was in radio back when I was young. Before I started in the fire department, I worked on a local radio station known as WDJX here locally in the Dayton area, which was a pop top 40 bubblegum rock station back in that day, playing to kids. Was working there. We were having a blast, spent an entire summer of events, fun stuff. And on a Friday in September, they walked in and fired the entire staff other than the engineer. And I was making a whopping like $4.50 an hour to begin with to be a radio DJ. And I realized that was not the career for me. And I got out of that by their doing and never went back. And I worked 35 years in the fire department and then retired and started this business in Florida, actually, doing interviews with, well, it was a marina that I worked in. I was a captain on a boat. And then I was doing interviews with bands that came through there, such as the touring band of the Beach Boys. And this was an elderly crowd that would come to the marina on one weeknight a week throughout the season, which is the winter, and see these great bands play. Glenn Leonard from the Temptations, people from that era. And I got to interview all of them, started a podcast about fishing, did all kinds of stuff. Thus, All Around Town Radio was born. And when I moved back here to the Dayton area to take care of some family, it moved here. And then we got into local music here and trying to make it more focused on local music, and the rest, I mean, we do it now. We've been through a lot. We've been through different days of the week. We've done Top 5 Tuesday, not Hot Topic Tuesday. We've done all kinds of stuff. So, and I met Karis in the COVID, and we've developed a wonderful relationship that we're able to do these things and do these fundraising events and do our live show. And it's been pretty magical for us. And we're fortunate, both of us, that we had 5,000, 5,200 views on last week's show where we announced the Women Who Rock total. So
that's awesome.
That's insane. I mean, it's great that we have that many people tuning in and seeing what we have to say and joining us like this and talking smack with us and that kind of stuff that we do. So, Karis, that's where I'm at. Did you see any other good questions? We got just a couple minutes.
How did I land in Ohio? Well, I was living in Australia when I met my now ex-husband, and we were doing jiu-jitsu. I actually met him in a bar that I was working at in Australia, and we opened a jiu-jitsu school here in Cincinnati because this is where he was originally from. And then when we separated or divorced, the first person to leave the state had to give up the rights to the dog. And I think we all know that I'm not about to give up the rights to Mr. Bear or anything. So
ain't happening.
That's why I stayed in Cincinnati and why my life was built here.
The world that Bear built.
The world that Bear built. You can thank Bear. That's why it's called the Bell and the Bear. I used to manage bands in Toronto, like local bands in Toronto. So that's how I've just always been a lover of local music. I'm a huge fan of cover bands. I just am. I just love it. I think it's so entertaining. I love all original too, but I really I love as a bar owner, I'm a big fan of cover bands. I just find it so entertaining.
Thank you, Dave Wade. That's what I love about you too.
Songs, Thank
you. Yeah. And Melody, thank you for that comment as well. Cincinnati's a great music market. I live south of the Dayton area, and there's a lot of great players up here, some that have cohabitated with Cincinnati now and those kind of things. So it's a fun time. It's a good time for all of us. And we love supporting live local music in the venues that bring it to you. And one thing I love about Karis too is she doesn't, she gets on here and she talks music, and it's not a Bell and the Bear promotion show and those kind of things like some people who do other live broadcast have accused us of. It's not there to promote the bell. We talk about the bell sometimes because it's relatable to what we're talking about. But we're all,
know that. Who says that?
well, we'll just leave her name out of it. Okay. Let's just,
she's even relevant. Ew.
yes, well, So Ray Renee, thank you for that comment. Kareem. Thank you. Cincinnati is one of the meccas of music. And, I've heard Jim Cuesta say that numerous times when he's been on stage about going places and people talking about Cincinnati and the market there and how good it is of music. And yes, it's wonderful. All right. I think we're about out of time for questions. Karis, you have anything else you want to chat about today? You have anything you want to throw out there?
What is the next benefit that you would like to launch? What you like to have? Oh. Well, I'm gonna have a little fundraiser benefit for one of my favorite bands to go over to the Blues Festival, and so that's one.
Yeah, Casey Gomez.
Yeah,
we're all into that. We're into that 110%. Hey, Karis.
Also, Casey, we got to get you in the books for next year.
Yeah, Casey. I know somebody else that's reached out to you a few times. Call him back. Call him back. I keep telling him how good you are. All right. Call him back. Do that. When are you opening your next bar in Hamilton? Bob Weber wants to know. Yeah.
I don't know. I got to figure out when I'm opening my next bar.
Yeah, she and I are going to open.
I'm slowly looking at places, but nothing's really popped out.
Karis and I are going to open a brick and mortar. Let's start this rumor. We're going to open a brick and mortar Faded Cow podcast studio where you can come eat and listen to people do live shows all day long from the studio in the place. That's my dream come true. That's what we're going to do. Mario, thank you so much. I hope you have fun at Gina and Johnny tomorrow night. Watch for them tomorrow on the show, guys, at noon. Learn more about Gina and Johnny. I'm going to put them on the spot tomorrow. I am. Bob says we're cooking here.
You guys have a great scene going on there. 100%.
It's a great vibe. I love Hamilton.
It is a fantastic vibe.
Thank you, Sean Cooper from Milano's. Thank you so much. And let me ask you a couple questions today, Karis. You ready?
Just fine, Bill in Montgomery.
Yeah. You ready?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You ready? I'm going to do weird would you rather questions with you today as we go out today. Would you rather have smelly feet or bad breath?
Smelly feet.
All right. Would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self?
Oh, my future self.
All right. Would you rather know what your pets think of you or never hear them speak? I know the answer.
Oh, sure. Tell me what you think of me. They love me. I love them.
Don't you wish they could talk sometimes?
Oh my gosh. Well, no, because then they would annoy me. But a lot of talking creatures annoy me. But I do want to hear them say, "Mommy, I love you."
How sweet would that be?
It would be.
My little puppy's love you too right now. All right. Are you ready? Would you rather be a member of the Kardashian family or a member of the British royal family?
I'm sorry. I suddenly went deaf.
Kardashians or royal family? Pick one. I'm waiting.
I don't know. Royal.
Thank you. I almost had to put on the Jeopardy theme.
Yeah, Uda both is right, Gina. I tried to think her, guys.
I got neithers coming all over the place on those. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to be famous on one social media platform, would you rather it be on YouTube or TikTok?
I don't know enough about either, so I'll just take the one where I make I don't know, where I get the most money. I don't know.
TikTok famous, probably.
TikTok famous, then.
Would you rather have only 7 fingers or 7 toes?
7 toes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a couple more. These are weird ones. Would you rather eat only burgers for a week or only ice cream for a week?
Burgers.
Of course you'd say that.
I love burgers.
Faded Cow promo, shameless plug.
You know what? Even
All
I
right.
do love burgers.
Would you rather be stuck as a character in Friends or How I Met Your Mother? Oh, let's move on. Would you rather be covered in hair or have no hair at all?
No hair at all.
Okay.
Or
Would you rather be on a dating show or a survival show?
survival show.
I knew that was coming. Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
I don't know the answer to this one. That's that's one of the hardest questions to answer for me. Because I'll say too cold so that way I can put on more clothes, but I really don't like the cold, so I want to be warm, but I don't want to be too warm, you know?
Rather be on a boat or in a treehouse?
Oh. Is my treehouse looking over the ocean and the mountains?
Yes. Then you're in.
A boat made out of a treehouse.
Last question. What are we agreeing with Dave Wade about? I must have missed that.
Treehouse boat. That's right, Gina. Treehouse boat.
Last question. I'm dropping the mic on this one. Would you rather make a movie about your most embarrassing moment or your sex life?
Well, y'all have Pornhub, so what's the surprise? No.
Oh, that's right. What's your name on there again? What's your stage name? I can't remember.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I would do both.
Yes.
Both are very entertaining.
Really? Todd says both. Mine was Gusty Winds, by the way, if you want to look me up. All right. Are you done?
Oh, we can be done if you want to be done.
We're out of time.
All right. Well, I got a question to ask you when we get out of here.
Okay. Ask me. All right. Good. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. We've had a great time with you today. And on behalf of my beautiful, lovely, fantastic, wonderful co-host with the most, Karis, right there, as we do the extreme close-up. Yes, we'd like to thank you for being with us and join us here tomorrow at noon. Gina and Johnny live here at All Around Town Radio with the interview Wednesday with the band. Love to have you with us then. And Thursday, Who's Playing Out? Brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio, where we bring you the best bands, venues, and such in the tri-state and where you're playing all week long. So that's going to be fun. Anything else you got today, Karis?
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed today. It was nice and relaxing. Thank you very much for everything and being so kind all the time.
And we need your topics, people. Send in topics to us for Hot Topic Tuesday. We
running out of
really,
ideas.
yeah, we really need some good hot button topics to talk about. So send them via DM. Slide into our DMs and send those our way. Thanks, Karis.
Thanks, Scott.
Are you done? I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm out of here. Maybe if I can get something to work. You want to say, who wants to say goodbye today? Anybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
Yes, I think so.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, this is Kevin Cooper. When I'm not engaging in magical mayhem at the Bell and the Bear or playing any of a number of hundreds of other venues in the greater Cincinnati area, I'm at home, and I'm listening to Scott Hall on the Hall Around Town Radio Show.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you
We're out of here.
Gina and Johnny.
Gina and Johnny tomorrow night. Or me at Heather's. We got 4 more dates at Heather's, and then it's over for the season.
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face.